pull that down? Huh? Good morning, Gucci. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, there we go. We
Yeah,
got
there
it.
we go. Woo! We're all connected and hooked up there. Uh, yeah, I was just finishing up some last minute details here on the system at the station.
No problem.
Right on, right on. Well, to everyone out there, good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Positive Vibes, making positivity and gratitude louder in a podcast world. And this morning, as my guest, I have my friend Gucci, who is a phenomenal ultra marathon runner and just runner, period. And yeah, he gets out there and runs 100-mile ultra marathons with a mutual friend of ours, Super Sabrina, and yeah, he's just an amazing runner, and I wanted to have him on my show, and so here he is. Welcome, Gucci.
Hey, Shane, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here on my show. Um, Sorry you couldn't make it to the station, but hey, whatever, you're still on the show, so that's what matters.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I just wanted to essentially grill you about your running and everything, and so I see you around town every now and again. I'll be driving my car home from work, and I see you running down Schuster Parkway or whatever, back toward town, and it's like, whoa, there goes Gucci again, or I'll see you over by the Narrows Bridge, there he is again, and it's just like I know what it's like for me, but I want to know what it's like for you. Why do you run so much?
Yeah, I've been running for about 15 years. So, a good chunk of my life. I'm 38 years old, so that's a pretty good amount. I started running pretty, didn't run in high school or college or anything. I started running once I got back or out into the working world, and I just I put on some weight my first year working in corporate America and really wasn't living really healthy. So I kind of just changed my diet and started exercising. And it's like, well, I always tell people, it's like, you don't have to run, you can walk. I started by walking. I was walking like 2 miles a day. That's how I got into running. And one day it just turned into like, oh, let me see if I can jog. Let me see if I can jog 3 miles. And it did. I did it, and I was like, wow, that felt really good. But yeah, it started out as physical fitness for me. It was just I'm not really good at any sports. I'm not really into any sports. I was playing golf, but that obviously wasn't enough of exercise to get me going. So I just started running, and by about 2 years into it, I was running like 40 miles a week, and my body felt really good, and it helped me with stress, and it helped me with anxiety, and it just helped me all around. And once I started doing that, I couldn't really stop. It just became part of my lifestyle. And that's where it's like running for me now. It's like going to bed, sleeping every day, or eating every day. It's like, it's just something that is so integrated in my day-to-day life that I don't even really realize that, like, I don't have to set the time aside. It's just something I do. So, it started out as physical fitness, and then it turned into like, stress and anxiety management. And then it just kind of morphed into my lifestyle of how I choose to live my life. And, it's brought me friends. It's brought me in community. I live in Tacoma largely because of running, from meeting people that lived here. And when I lived in Texas, and kind of traveling up here and running races. So it's really a huge, huge part of my life, and something I think I'll do as long as my body lets me. So
Right on. Yeah, that's that's pretty awesome. That's about how I got into it. Was actually how I got into it was, I just, yeah, I thought long distance running was crazy, and all you people were crazy for running, even these half marathons, and before I knew it, I was running full marathons and ultras, and yeah, meeting you and the rest of the running community around here, just I got sucked in, and it's like, okay, well, hey, this is awesome, running, and I just kept doing it, and here I am running every day now, 900, and today's day 904, and
Nice.
I definitely relate so much with that stress and anxiety management, just gets my body moving, and I'm focused on that, and everything else just melts away.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah,
It's magic.
yeah. And the health and fitness thing is like I was just commented on a friend's post this morning about she was talking about freedom and how running is freedom, and it's like stress management and all that, and I'm like, yeah, totally, total freedom. Even my MS disappears when I'm out there running. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, and I was super curious about your experience, your personal experience running 100-mile ultra marathon. It's like, what does that even classify as an ultra marathon, or does that classify as a beast mode on its own?
Yeah, it's still an ultra. So I've done 9 official hundreds now, and I took me a while to get into them. I did my first one in 2017, so I'd been running distance races for about 10 years before I dove into the 100, which there's a lot of people that go dive in a lot earlier than I did, but it's a lot different. It's there's a very, very big mental side to it that really is what it's all about. So your body, nobody runs 100 miles without their body kind of totally failing them at some point. And you just have to kind of trick yourself and have the mental fortitude to be able to push through. So it's entirely a head game, and that's the difference between you finishing a 100-miler and you DNFing. So DNFing is did not finish, which I have a couple of those on my record from 100-mile attempts. There were a couple in mountain hundreds that I made it 100K, 60-ish miles into, and just my head got to me, and I decided I didn't want to go anymore. But my body was perfectly capable of still moving during both of those. So yeah, it's a different concept. You just you wrap your head around the fact that you're going to be running for an entire day, basically, and that you're not going to sleep, and that your body's going to go into places that you've never been before, and you just kind of need to prepare for it mentally more than anything. You don't need to. People always ask, it's like, what do you need to do mileage wise to run a 100-miler? And it's like, you don't need to run a crazy amount of mileage to train for a 100-miler. I've seen people do it on like 30 or 40 miles a week. You just have to have the mental capability and the get your head ready, and because it's all about the head. And yeah, other than that, it's like I try to keep it simple in 100-mile races. I try not to eat too much. I try not to drink too much, because those things can cause your stomach to go south. And once you're puking in a 100-miler, that's one of the great ways for you to not want to finish it. I've been there a couple times. So that's usually what undoes me. And it's usually because I ate too much or drank too much of something. And yeah, it's a fun little mental game. And I've even gotten into doing non-race 100-miler type things. So most people in Washington know about the Wonderland Trail around Mount Rainier. So I've actually done that twice as a through run where I just start and don't stop until I've gone around the entire mountain, and that's about 93 miles of gnarly, rugged terrain. And that was kind of the true, like, when I realized that your body can do so much more than most people ever think it's capable of. Like, if you asked me a year or two ago, or a year or two before I did Wonderland, whether I could do that and be on my feet for 30 hours in the middle of nowhere and only have, carry all my food and only be able to drink natural water, I'd be like, that sounds insane. And then one day I'm just like, yeah, I think I can do this. And I went out there and just did it. And it was like on my feet for 30 hours. And I got back to my car and I'm like, wow, that was absolutely incredible. So yeah, it's a mental game. That's really what it is. If you can get your head in there and be like, I can do this, then your body's going to follow along, as long as you have some, level of running experience and fitness, but it does not have to be anything super stellar.
I'm listening to you talk about these insane experiences, running a 100-mile race or running the Wonderland Trail around Mount Rainier, and it's like, okay, well, I've walked, or hiked part of a trail, like a couple miles or whatever, and then back to my car or back to the campsite. But yeah, I can envision myself going all the way around Mount Rainier. I don't know about running it yet, but I could probably run a lot of it. But like you're saying, we're capable of so much more than it seems, and so it's like, yeah, I probably could run around it, but it would take me a lot longer than 30 hours, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who have done it in like 48 or 50, or there's some people that break it up into 3